Machiavellian, isn't he? I mean, the way he blatantly, he so blatantly manipulates the media and release of information, and yet gets away with it. Give us a feeling of how he gets away with that, Gideon. It's kind of astonishing or bewildering to people outside Victoria.
Oh, you could write. I wish I had another 45 minutes to talk about the Tao of Dan Andrews, the way I mean, there's a science to it. When he's hit with a thorny question, one tactic which you'll see and again is the just like, how can you even be talking about something like transparency and government accountability? Look, I'm focused on building, delivering for Victorians. I'm not going to waste my time talking about. So that's one way he does it. But the other device he uses is scapegoating. Anybody who lived in Victoria over the past couple of years will tell you that whenever he was called out about lockdowns, whenever people said it's enough, he'd say, oh, look, it's not the government that's doing this. It's the people who aren't following the rules. If those people, your next door neighbours, they're the ones to blame, the one who had a couple of mates over. If only they, didn't do that, we'd be out of this sooner. And then it became, of course, blaming it on unvaccinated people. Dictator's Playbook 101, scapegoating. And a lot of good people were tarred, maligned. I mean, there was a couple that had an engagement party that was caught on film. They had to leave the country. It was so bad. It's a very, very, I often say, and I say this as a Jewish person myself, with a lot of family that perished in the Holocaust, a lot of people said, how could Germans see what was going on and just stand for it? Now I know. No, I'm not arguing the consequences were anything as dramatic. We're not talking about the same thing. Of course, we are not. But the fear and loathing that was allowed to grip each and every person in this country, the scapegoating of your fellow citizens, seeing them as a source of danger, the authoritarianism, we don't have time for things like, Dan Andrews would literally say, this isn't about human rights, this is about human life. I'm sorry, once we start abandoning our fundamental democratic principles like that, our fundamental human rights, the fact that when we start to be okay with it, history has a way of making that end very, very badly. And we should really think about how we got through that situation in the way that we did and what comes next.
Yeah, well, as Machiavelli himself said, it's better to be feared than loved.
Feared than loved.
But those people, the rulers who abide by that they always end in tears. Now, just very quickly, is it, pardon my naivety and my optimism, but is there any chance that he will lose in November?
There's a chance. There's always a chance. And this is the number one thing I'm asked. People see me on the street and recognise me from the TV work I do or anything else. The number one thing anybody asks is, will he go? Will he go? And they're asking that because the polls are obviously not good. The Guy team has been a little bit hit and miss in its offerings. But I say anything's possible in Victoria. Nobody expected Jeff Kennett to lose in 1999. Nobody expected Ted Baillieu to win in 2010. And Victorians almost always, they have ever since 1996, over 20 years now, they vote against the party in government federally. So you never know, my friend. You never know. Don't rule anything in or out at this stage. Have faith.